Hey guys, it's Grace, and today I'm going to be doing a video on NsLC. So basically I did kind of one of these videos when I came back from my first time at NsLC when I went as a student, and I just talked about my experience at NsLC and how I felt and give you guys some tips and things if you are going to go to NsLC. And I know that helped a lot of you, and it's still helping a lot of you even though I uploaded it almost 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, more than 2 years ago now since I'm back from NsLC. But I just wanted to film a video about my experience as an NsLC staff member, and that might help out some of the alumni or just anyone who is wanting to become a staff member. I don't have a real plan for this video, but I just wanted to talk about my experience really quick and let you guys know how you can become a staff member at NsLC. So I went back to the campus that I originally went to. I went to the Yale campus, and this year I did the acting intensive as the program that I was an ATA at. So basically, I talked about this in my NsLC experience video, but the difference between a TA and an ATA is basically just experience level and age. A TA is someone who is a team advisor of a group, so similar to a camp counselor kind of, but they're more there to be a mentor for the students and not really be a disciplinarian for the students, or an authoritative figure or anything like that. They're just there to guide them along and kind of like give them the outlines and the parameters of where they need to be, and then just let them do their own thing and figure it out on their own. So that's what a TA is. They are in charge of their own group, and then I was an ATA, which is an assistant team advisor, and that basically just means that you are not in charge of your own group, but you're assisting a team advisor in a group, and you're kind of like the person who just runs around, and if anyone needs anything, then you do that. If you need to take over their group, then you would take over the team advisor's group. If another team advisor needs you for anything, then you go and help out them. That's basically what an ATA does, and basically what I did this entire time. So I was placed with the HTA, which is the head team advisor, who is the boss, I guess you could say, of all of the ATAs and other TAs, and then they're in close contact with the program director, which is the boss of everyone. So kind of like goes up, but everyone is treated equally and everyone has, you know, the same amount of authority over the students, and it's really an equal relationship between them, which I really liked, because even with like my program director, she acted like a real human being, and that's like that's weird for me to say, but she never made it all about her, and she never made it seem like she was above any of the ATAs or the TAs. She always made sure that we were considered on the same level as her, which I really, really loved. So my program is for 18 days, the acting program. It is the only program that is that long at NsLC. The rest of the programs are 9 days, and I was on the Yale campus, and that is the campus that I went to when I went to NsLC, and my program was the acting intensive when I went to NsLC, but it was 21 days long instead of 18. So we came in a few days early to do training, because you have to be trained in order to know how to deal with certain situations, and then we left 2 days after the students left, just to clean up and just for traveling reasons and that kind of stuff, and so we could get a day to rest before we went home. But it is incredibly intense. Not only are you working from 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock, 12, 1 o'clock at night, but you're basically working for 24 hours for 18 straight days, because you have RA duty, which basically means that you are available all night long if a student needs you and needs to call you and needs anything, or needs to go to the office, or is sick or anything like that. That does rotate, and then some people have roaming duties, which basically means that you have to roam all around and check to make sure that there's no students out of bed and stuff like that. But you were basically working for 24 straight hours, which is a lot. It's a lot, but it's an incredibly rewarding experience. It's definitely a lot different than being a student there. As a student, it's a lot more carefree and you don't have as many worries, especially on field trips, because we took 2 field trips to New York and then 1 to Williamstown Theater Festival. And as an ATA or a TA, it's so much more stressful because you have to keep track of all these students and make sure that they know where they're going and have their tickets, and if they have checkpoints that they need to be at, they know where those are, and their name tags are off because you don't want your name tag on in the middle of New York, and it just adds a whole another level of stress that made me appreciate my ATAs and my TAs a lot more with how much they have to handle. But it's also so much fun, and I think that since I had already done the program, I wasn't really expecting to, you know, get a lot out of the process that they do with devised theater or the classes or anything like that, because I had already kind of gone through them and experienced them. But I learned so much from the students and the professors that I already knew and had already heard a lot of their classes. I still learned so much. I also got to see 2 Bravo shows, which is like pretty cool. That was amazing. Saw Hamlet, and I also saw Great Comet, which is now closing on Broadway. So that was really cool and a great experience as well. And just seeing like the students' reactions, some of them, it was their first time in New York, and I think that was also an incredible experience. When I left the NsLC program, I knew that I wanted to come back because it had given me so much, and I wanted to give back to the program and become a TA or an ATA. And so I waited a year because I was going into my senior year when I started the program, and so you have to be at least in between your freshman and sophomore year of college, which is where I'm at. And it's kind of hilarious because some of my students actually watched my experience video before coming to NsLC, which was very like weird but also cool. So I'm glad that it helped so many people. Basically, I this summer applied for a TA job and I didn't get it because everyone who was being a TA was returning to the program. So if you've done a TA job before, an ATA job, they're going to pick you, if they liked you, over someone who is newly applying to the program, which is completely understandable. Like, you have seniority, it makes a lot of sense. So I didn't end up getting a TA job, but then the program director sent out an email that was asking for alumni to apply for an ATA position, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about applying to the ATA. Like, I was only thinking about being a team advisor. I totally should apply to be an ATA. So I did, and I clearly ended up getting the position, but I had 2 interviews, one interview with the program director, and then my second interview was with the HTA of the program. Waited a little bit and found out that I got the job. So that was basically it. It wasn't like a super, honestly, stressful application process. There were a lot of questions that I had to fill out online before I even got the phone interview. It was 2 phone interviews. And so that was honestly basically it. Was just questions about like me and my experience with theater and some of the classes that I've taken in college and all of that kind of stuff, why I wanted to work at NsLC. So that was basically how I got the job. If you are an alumni, or even if you are not an alumni, I would definitely recommend applying. It's an incredible experience. Just being an ATA or a TA, even if it is not in the program that I went into, there's so many programs in so many colleges that it's a wonderful experience, and I definitely recommend doing it. Or there's also office staff positions. So those are some of the most incredible people. They are so organized and they do a lot for the site. If you're not interested in a specific curriculum-based area that NsLC offers, I would definitely recommend looking into the office job and see if that's something that you would like to do as well. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about working at NsLC, definitely leave them down below and I can answer them as best as possible. But overall, I had an incredible experience. I learned a lot and I hopefully will be going back next year as a TA. Alright guys, I think that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more. If you haven't already, you can check out my previous video on this side of the screen and my previous vlog on that side of the screen. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and I will see you in my next video. Bye.